Hello, welcome to DENDAO, the DENDAO Call for February 8th, 2024. I'm still waiting on Dave to join us. I think he's dealing with connectivity issues. So we're going to just start right into the agenda. Had a couple of things, and there was something from the call today as well. Right on, there's Dave.
Hey, are we
right as we started? Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You all right?
All right. Yeah, I'm good. I just had an issue. My uninterruptible power supply interrupted the power.
Of course.
So I had to figure that out.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I'm here.
So I have the main agenda up, but there was a question from the super happy this morning. So I'm going to try to pull that up as well.
All right, and I'm going to bring up the agenda on my end too, so we're on the same page.
Right on. Let's see. For Dragon Chain Lair. Man, so much going on recent.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of crazy. Larry Sanger interview. So a bunch of people watched that today. I don't know if you've watched it yet. It was.
I haven't.
It was good. It was. I would have been interested to see some of the things he said. So it was pretty awesome. And
that was on Super Happy.
Or no, it was just like a special thing, like we just did, and so it aired. It aired this afternoon.
Okay, first episode. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it today.
Cool. Now, because he's awesome, and there's a bunch of really interesting stuff.
So, yeah, I know the last time y'all spoke, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm looking. Oh, here we go.
Hello, Azad.
I got it. Oh,
I'm not in the dark. It's just that I don't know where my good camera is, and this one makes it seem that way. I didn't even know you were doing that, Joe. That's cool. I'll have to look it up. I've been so in the weeds with. I've been on a project that just delivered Monday, and now I'm doing all of the bunch of legal checkout stuff. I'm so ready to be done with it, though. It's one of those time sinks that I didn't realize was going to eat up my whole life for a while. That kind of thing.
Yep. So
what do you got from the questions this morning you were talking about?
Let's see here. So, and this is from Super Happy. So I did answer it on there, but I promised we would talk. So might as well start with it if you're okay with that.
Sure.
So this is from I Am for I Am. I'm not certain who this picture is supposed to be of, but what are your thoughts if a meme coin would be created that had both matter and lore rewards with the primary purpose to market Den.Social? This token would also have a number go up characteristic to attract adoption, price growth, and ultimately new denizens. The matter and lore tokens for rewards would be donated from denizens and would not come from the Den wallet. So
it's interesting timing for that question.
Yeah.
Because that's I've got to kind of like get my ear back to the ground on this.
Right.
But it seems like a lot of things are waking back up again, including the whole meme coin thing.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of like, especially apparently Solana. There's a lot of activity going on over there with that. And so there's eyes on it. So marketing wise, anything with a bunch of eyes on it, I'm interested to hear ideas on.
Yeah.
So what was there some initial discussion that you can catch me up on what that would look like?
I had said that I had a lot of ideas that I'd bring up on this show, right? So, because there are some things that you would want to define, so where
I know who the
would it
monkey
start? Is it a Musk? It looks like a Musk.
Look at the eyes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, maybe it's a real meme coin. I don't know. Anyway, so one thing would be, I would assume that the NFTs would actually be created on Den, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be better if they were just created on Solana, Ethereum, or something else, right? No idea.
Yeah, I had a related idea that is So it kind of bridges into, and we won't get there yet, but it bridges into something that Dirax said on today's agenda in the comments. In the like a handful of us who happen to have a bunch of matter and lore would have like the incentive and the ability to provide like reward tokens for such a marketing.
Yes, that was the other side of it. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's a handful of people that I would be willing, and I know that there's others too that would be like, yeah, I would love to put this to good use, kind of thing. So I had this idea of like an experiment where what if you had to spend matter to like post, you know what I mean, like experimental Den, as if Den is not experimental enough,
Right.
It was just one of my like daydreams, like, oh, what if you had to spend matter and it wasn't free, and what if this and what if that. But that idea, the reason I think it's related is because that idea depended on matter still coming from Den. Like you can't just make it; it has to come from somewhere, and so it would be tied to like however much the community put into that reward pool, sort of voluntarily, to get paid back out again as part of the experiment. But that's kind of like what this is like you would have to have a bucket somewhere to pull the matter and lore rewards out of, and that would need to be sourced by us, and I'm interested in that. Now I know what makes a good meme. I'm not sure know what makes a good meme coin.
Yeah, and that's so that's the other side of it. So the first is where's the NFT live? What is the origin of it, right? Because it could literally be, it could be potentially content on Den or something similar, right? I mean, it could just be a post or something that might not be exciting enough. I don't know, but either way, you'd want to know the origin of it, right? And if the origin as well will dictate what the art is, right? So is it going to be generative art? Is it going to be from a post? Is it going to be something else, right? I don't know. So that's important. And then you have the source of, what does it do? What's it for? What can you get with it? What can you do with it? And that could be something that would be, like you'd said, donation based. It could be mining based. We could plug some of the mining into it.
So assuming we have the rewards in like matter and lore to fund this, and let's just say we do, because we can probably figure that out.
Yeah.
What would the rewards be for? You know what I mean? I think this is where it gets into, is it a marketing meme coin? Like, is it literally an advertising campaign where you have to do certain things that then, like if you have the meme coin in your wallet, when you do a certain thing, then you get paid out in matter, or you get paid in lore. I would imagine it would be way easier to do it on Den, at least for the reward payouts, right? To where if you have a linked Den account to, even if it's external or on a different network or something,
right,
to where whatever activities you would get the rewards on Den itself.
Yep. It could be entry into the DENDAO, into the founders builders group. That it could be something plugged into that. It could be
one thing.
You can get lots. You could potentially. It could be. What if it were an entry into a monthly, quarterly something drawing to get a bunch of lot that was created during that period, or a bunch of the lot, because we Den, for every LCP actually commits, what is it, 10,000 or something lore. I can't remember the number, but there's a fixed amount of lore that goes in, that Den takes every time, that the intent was always to give that away for, just to bring awareness to that new layer or whatever. And we have a bunch of that sitting there, so that could be, and I would give up a bunch of lot to do stuff like that, similar.
Or
be fun.
I wonder if this could be something that we do. You know that one project that we're working on over this weekend,
Yes.
a little bit. I wonder if that's something, because they're going to be operating on Den primarily as their official communications and discussion forum and some of the like governance and stuff like that. And they're coming up, right? So I wonder if this could be something that we actually, not to bounce around too much, but here's why I'm thinking. Here's why I'm thinking about this is because that's really been like where there's been resources, that's where they're being used right now.
Yep.
And so I wonder if we can take this idea, because I want to use that project to market Den anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be something that is going to presumably bring some attention to, like, oh, why are they operating on Den? What's Den? That kind of thing.
Yep.
So I wonder if like that's not a meme coin by any stretch of the imagination, but I wonder if it's something that could be done there as
definitely a piece of it. Yeah.
You know, even without the meme coin part, some kind of advertising campaign that has the matter and lore rewards.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to throw that idea in there. Like if, I don't know if there's because we're going to need to advertise that anyway. So how do we do both?
Yeah. And you're right. That alone, even though it's not a meme coin, that by itself would also be it would attract people, I think, in where, you know, people, okay, I want to know where are they voting? Oh, okay, it's that, right? So that could have an effect, right?
I like the idea of like stealth launching a meme coin and just not even saying, you know, who's from or anything, and just dropping it on Biz or something, like, you know, here's open a you know, run-of-the-mill schizo thread on 4chan about like the next bonk or something that is entirely meme based and nobody really cares about. But what are the different types of meme coins, right? You have the ones that are more like smug type, like I'm ridiculous and I shouldn't work, but I am going to anyway because fuck you, that's why. That's like bonk, right? To me, it's like
I don't even know. I don't even follow any of this stuff anymore, so I don't know.
So bonk is this meme coin that is like Doge bonk. It's like it's such a ridiculous concept. It's so stupid, but enough people got behind it and said, yeah, well, we're going to use this anyway, and we're going to support it, to the point where, like, when the Solana phone came out, it came with bonk meme coins preloaded on them that were worth more than the phone that you just bought.
Wow.
That you paid for.
Huh.
And it's just like, it was so silly. You know what I mean? And so that's like classic meme coin bullshit. And I love it. It's funny.
And are they fungible? Like, is it like Doge? It's fungible. Yeah. It's not like it's not even art or anything. Okay.
No, nope. It's just a coin that's just because, for no reason. You know.
Oh, you know what we could do? Now this is maybe something that we don't have the resources to spend to do this, but this would be a good concept because it would be fitting. What if every layer had its own meme coin? Right, or had its own coin, essentially. You know, they already have the NFTs for governance, but what if, along with the matter you're also generating politic coin or polycoin or whatever the hell it would be?
Yeah.
And the
that would be an interesting idea, just as an alternate, well, like NFT artwork for the lot. You know what I mean? Like an alternate artwork that shows up.
Yeah. Yep. And it would also give you the layers could, on their own, because they all have their own governance, they could decide how many to produce every cycle, right? They could do all of that type of stuff. Long term, the best part would be they'd be able to define their own measures, right? Say, oh, if somebody does this or shares this much of this or whatever else, that's how you get rewarded, right? It's not
Yeah.
based upon the
Yeah.
regular. But
I
we
don't know.
don't
It
have
just
time for that.
it sort of reminds me of this question that somebody asked me a long time ago, which was, "Hey, Dave, you ever think about making your own like Dave coin, your own altcoin?" And I was just like, "Yeah, but like, why? But like, what would it do?" And I get too caught up into like, what would it do, and how would you get people to even care about it?
Mhm.
And how do you market the marketing tool? If it is a marketing tool, how do you market the marketing to the point where that's effective?
Yeah.
Which gets us back to the cold start problem of like, how do you get people involved in a community or a network anyway?
Yeah.
Right?
Which is why this potentially could be powerful, because it's something that might attract people in for whatever reason.
You know what I think it would have to be, Joe?
What's
Is it
that?
would have to be like there's a bunch of cool stuff you could do, but I think it would have to be as simple as possible. Because like DEN's already pretty complicated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think like the bizarro of that a little bit, where it's just dead simple. It does a thing, or it just looks pretty, or it does nothing. I don't know. Something to where you don't have to understand it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's been sort of a barrier to entry for Den a little bit. Is people will get confused about like why are there so many moving parts?
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
that kind of
Yep.
thing.
Well, I wonder, but if we made a Den level meme coin, what would be the differentiator between already having matter and already having lore and already having a lot? How do you?
Like if we did the whole thing on Den,
Yeah.
as far as like a
Well, I mean, even if it wasn't on Den, even if it was separate, but if it's a Den meme coin, then how is it attracting people in? And would it not be more confusing? It's like, oh, I got this meme coin, I can use it on Den. Wait, what's matter? Wait, what's lore? I don't understand. I got this meme coin.
right.
You'd have that problem probably.
Well, I think that's back to what I Am for I Am was talking about, where matter would be and lore would be a reward from holding the meme coin or using the meme coin or trading it. Maybe every time you trade it, you get like a matter reward credited to your account or something as a reward for using it. And so then like that would be the thing. Like, oh, the more even if you're just transferring it to your friends or something back and forth, maybe that could be the mining. Oh, I spent gas fees on Ethereum.
Oh, if you made it your avatar on
What if
right?
What if you just embrace the ridiculous and you don't necessarily like reward how much of the meme token or the meme coin that you have, but instead you credit matter depending on how much gas you burn by sending it around, like incentivize people to burn more gas to get matter rewards. Like it's stupid, but it's one of those things that's like, I don't know, is it stupid enough for people to do it because it's funny? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of work sending it back and forth too, so that might be harder than some other things. But
It was just an idea of like,
yeah. Oh, I know.
how
It could be how much if as long as your balance of this meme coin goes up since the last time we checked, then you get points.
if your balance is a Fibonacci number,
if it's a Fibonacci, it's a bonus.
at a certain snapshot point, certain interval, then you get a bonus,
There
which
you
would
go.
get people to like people would then send it to you to ruin your fib number. You would just
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant.
you would receive meme coin that you didn't ask for because somebody sent it to your address because they saw that you had a Fibonacci number
So you have to
and
get
the
to the next level.
snapshots coming up.
That's brilliant.
Stuff like that makes it fun. That's what we would have to do.
I
could get if it was really fun, I could get behind it. You
Yeah.
know, and it also would like generate some sort of visibility or some sort of like
You know what I would really love is if there was something that you
interest
could,
in what Den is.
depends on what else was in your wallet with the meme coin. The meme
Oh,
coin
yeah.
exchange. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
With the existing stuff, that would be. I mean, the NFTs. If it was an NFT, it could. You could do it with an NFT.
You could really do it with like an art NFT that's like an AI generative, because then you could literally automate maybe like a base query, but then add the names of all the other coins you have in your wallet to that query or to that prompt, and just see what comes out, kind of thing.
Oh, just an AI.
yeah, that
That'd be
kind of
pretty
thing.
cool. That'd be pretty cool.
You have a baseline descriptor, and then like,
and people who had it, then people who had it and do certain things would get the points, which get you matter or lot or whatever is thrown in a pot, and it could be anything, right? You get bonuses.
So on Den already, if you have claimed an address, an Ethereum address,
yes,
presumably there could be like a pretty straightforward way of saying, okay, these accounts, these denizens, without any sort of like invasive stuff or whatever, you could look at the ledger on the Ethereum side that's connected to their account and do some sort of operation that decides some sort of reward.
Yep.
Or something like that. That could be interesting.
Yeah. That'd be pretty simple. All the infrastructure is already there. It would just
so then that would be like I guess the thing there would be, if it's marketing, right? The thing there would be incentivize people or get people to create a Den account and link and claim an Ethereum address that they want to use with whatever this thing is.
Yep.
And then you do a certain thing, and now you're all linked up, and then you get some matter or some lore.
Maybe happens
rewards based on that. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be all
that
right.
could be a thing. That could be a thing.
That wouldn't be hard to do either, because we could even do some of that manually if necessary, right?
Yeah, and if you simplify it, you could just say, okay, let's say it is a meme coin that's launched. Then you could just directly say, okay, like track people's meme coins.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So now let's go.
That's worth further discussion.
Yes. Let me go to the actual agenda. So I guess first updates. February LCP, layer creation process. Proposal phase is currently live. So make sure you get in there. Make some proposals if you have any ideas for new layers. Do we have any? Okay, we have community input feedback down here. So Dayrox. So this is returning the question he asked Joe regarding the intro of a maximum amount of energy the posts can be bet on. If the max amount is not an option, how can we increase denizens' commitment? There are many posts that have no votes, and they're not bad. True. Compared to Den, Tangled has a much higher community involvement, with everyone earning something. It costs money to publish a post, but you get rewards for every view, even if only someone swipes the screen. So there's probably a lot of fake stuff going on, right? Happens everywhere. I think Tangled have very good ideas we can copy. I do agree. For example, they do various contests in which participants are rewarded. Used to be in Den too. I don't know why anyone doesn't do it anymore. Maybe it'd be worth returning. You need a hint of what's legal. Don't ask me what's legal. Just do whatever's legal where you are. I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is it depends on where you live.
Yeah. Want a lottery among those taking part in the contest expose anyone to legal problems? I don't know. I don't know what guidelines Tangled has, but they have a lot of competitions. The biggest contests are done by the founders, but there's also many contests done by the community. Would love to join the DAO meeting, but the time of day does not suit me. Sorry. So it's excellent. Great question, though. So I'm open to something like a limit. See, I'm voting 4,000 on it, right? I'm open to like a limit on the energy. I don't know what the limit would be, though, right? Because it is something that you want people to be able to put a ton of energy on something, because that's how that post will tend to be rewarded. So if we limit it, it's going to just be spread more, but that's not necessarily bad. So yeah, that was the first thing. I want to see what you think about
I hadn't thought about that, but that's a decent point. Because part of the idea here is to get it spread out. Yeah. Like part of the point here is to get interaction on more than just a few things. Right. It's not a bad point.
And one of the things I do think myself that needs to happen is I think we've already approved it. If you can remember, I'm not certain, where the lot holders are rewarded based upon not the lot that they hold, but the lot and their engagement with that layer. That is, if you hold lot in politics layer and you never post there and you never vote there and you never do governance there, you don't do anything, you don't get anything, right?
Yeah.
But
if that has not been
it's approved,
proposed and approved and voted on, then it should be, because I think that I'm behind that for sure, because I think that that's a really elegant response to the problem of stale
yes,
ownership. Like lack of even maintenance, I guess.
Yep, and I think it will organically also take the smaller, like say someone who, they don't have very much lot in that layer, but nobody else is participating. They're the only ones posting in it or something. They're going to be, they're going to get much larger rewards for being in that layer just because they're actually participating than the equivalent of what they're that they committed in lore. So. And it would, the reason I bring that up, I don't want to detach too much from this. It would, I think, be a very clean, partial solution to the same problem that Dayrox is citing here, that engagement. How do we get more people to engage? And it's like, I think the bondholders are one.
The last half of the second sentence is what the point of that of this conversation is, right?
Yeah. How can we get more people doing stuff, and reducing the or setting a max energy potentially will get people to do more, but at the same time, a lazy person is just going to still vote on the 3 or 4 posts and then then do whatever else. So the limits will only limit them, instead of saying, well, I'm going to put all 3,000 the energy I have on these 3 posts versus well, I can only put in a couple of hundred on each, so I'll just when I come back, I'll do a couple of, it won't necessarily get them to spread out that energy.
There could also be a way to tie your cap to your rep or something like that, to where you could earn the right to spend higher energy caps or something like that.
That's not a bad idea.
That could be okay.
That is not a bad idea. We also need the other thing. We need resources because we also need the eval rep. I think is what we called it. Because right now all the rep is content based. So if you don't ever post anything, you don't build any rep, and so it doesn't change much. So we need the eval side of it as well. And or maybe even to have the content rep where your rep has a half-life, so you have to keep posting or keep doing things to keep your rep up so that you can be more involved.
So not to I know this isn't exactly what Derox is asking about, but I keep coming back to the point about implementing the engagement based ownership rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask the lead dev how much of a lift that is? Because it's all protocol backend stuff.
That's a good point. It would only be a mining question. You know what? I'm going to ask him right now. 1 second.
Because you wouldn't really have to do anything with anything except for how it works with mining and how it works with it's an accounting change or something.
Yeah. Let's see here. Implement. Let's type right. It's engagement. We'd have to define the rules for engagement and the weights, right?
You said you thought that it was already a proposal that had been submitted.
Yes.
You might just send that to him and see what he thinks.
Okay. We need to find it. All right. So I've already asked him the base question.
Also, hello, I am for AM.
Let's see here. I'm going to go in. I don't know how. Oh, let me see here. We might have it. A place already documented, easy to find. 1 second. Votes and results. Yeah, right on. We have it. Okay, so I don't know if this is all of them. Let's see here. Change notification of intent to purchase an LCP layer now. Automatically subscribe all denizens to new LCP layers.
That's
Make
done.
auto subscribe retroactive.
That's
Create
done.
a sitewag tag for AI. Change LCP winners to first unique voters. First in lore. What do you think? Change LCP. Okay. Unpublished a mobile app. Make layer metrics available as a tentative leaderboard. This isn't all of them. This is only since 23. So, 22 here. Okay, we have a ton. Okay. All right. What would it be? What would he called? Because there are enough here. I need to search. Something like lot based, right? I'll just put lot. DENDAO lot.
I'll look for it as well and see who finds it first.
Cool. Den governance per user.
Oh, I went way too far. I went all the way back to remove the not safe for work embargo.
Darn it. I know we had it on here. Maybe we never voted on it. I swear we did. Let's see here.
I don't remember if we did or not. I know it was extensively discussed, especially with I know that Cerebral was in on that a lot. I think it might have actually come from them initially, the concept.
I think it might have. Let's see here. Darn it. More lot metrics.
I was not sorted by created date, so I was all over the place.
That's 21. Let's go 22. I think it's gonna be 2022. I'm pretty sure. DAO prioritization vote. There were DAO prioritization votes that could be. It could have been in there. That might have been it. Geez, come on, guys. Let's see here. Formal cross posting. This would be awesome. Layer metrics and leaderboard.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that it was a DENDAO. I don't think there was an official vote. I could be wrong, but I think it was one of those things that we were all on board with. And maybe it made it into the prioritization list.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on lot. So this is from Sinfully Cerebral.
That would have been who had the initial idea. I think.
Share this tab.
I'll just bring you up there.
And let's see here. I think about a lot of owners that end up MIA. Totally.
Yeah, this is the conversation.
Yep. So then Josh-O, a lot of people willing. Good. Again, Sinfully Cerebral. Okay, there's you. Passive income. Yep. I swear I made a long. Okay. Oh, with the
I think several of us did.
With the Pope and the death metal. It's awesome. Let's see here. Dilation.
Yeah. Because I remember, we're not going to take anyone's property away. We're not going to redistribute it.
We don't like that.
And then, okay. So can you
just stop?
You know what we should do is we should, since you're in there, if you could hit share and then just make a post in today's DENDAO.
Yes, that's a great point.
Post as a point of reference so that we can let's review what was discussed in here.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of really good points and back and forth that I think resolved into a common thing that we wanted to do.
Yes. And I cannot believe that I misspelled layer. I've never done that.
I do it all the time.
I'm just joking.
I do it all the time.
Let's see here. This is it. So use a minimum amount of combination action discount as active, so that active people would get. They basically compete with their own engagement against other lot holders for the matter, right? I think that's really good because it would affect me directly. Because right now, I mean, I wish that I could spend time on all the layers that I own, but this would be much better, if I wasn't the one getting rewards for not having even done anything in that layer that week.
Yeah, the
Right?
memes layer was way better
So,
before you got spread out into different layers, dude. You need to just focus
yes.
on a thing.
Yep, exactly. So let's look, and he gave us applause back then. So I think we're set. Anyway, I don't know. So okay, I'm going to share this into the agenda. And let me see here.
Yeah, just put a note and like link to it, and just to say like this could be something that's, relatively straightforward to implement with the biggest payoff for engagement.
You're not done yet?
No. Partially, how partially the game issues. I'm going to say issue or issues. And that. So yeah, so that's documented. We have it there. And let's see.
I think that as a 1-2 punch, that combined with me finishing this the interim leaderboards would give us some fuel for the fire, or some, maybe that's the wrong analogy, but that's there's something there that's a good, like that's the and it's all, like I said, like back end type protocol type data mining, rewards algorithm, whatever you want to call it, type changes. So I think that's realistically something that could be done with the resources we have right now.
Yes.
At least more so than like a lot of the other things that we need to do.
Yes. I'm looking for it. I'm like, I swear we voted on it, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think we talked about it a lot and decided that it's awesome. But I'm not going to bet. But if I were betting, I'd be betting that it wasn't one. All right, I got to split soon enough.
Okay.
So
yeah, we need to go. Here, let's go.
I am. We haven't talked about decentralization much in the last couple of meetings, and I don't want to dismiss it. I don't know where that is on the priorities. Like there's so much we need to do, and I don't know where that lands.
Yeah. And it might even depend upon who comes in, right? That you might get some group that comes in that's a near to requirement. So,
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do, assuming like, wave a magic wand, what I'd love to do is create a network that is easy for people to run a node at home, to have like a droplet that is a Den server kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's somewhere between here and there is probably where we'll land.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think that even though it's gated, which is sort of the antithesis of open and decentralized, even though access is gated, I still think that the most realistic stepping stone is that Flux idea, because it's cheap, and even if it is gated, the infrastructure is decentralized. So you are proving decentralized infrastructure as a server solution, a serving solution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that will come up along the way, like security issues, privacy, things like that. What can those people see that are running instances of a DEN server, that kind of thing? And because of that, it's a pretty heavy lift because there's going to need to be some retooling and how things are stored. But I still think, not that I'm like, I have zero Flux. I'm not an investor in Flux. I used to, but I don't need more. But I still think that that's the most straightforward, realistic way to decentralize with the existing, like where we are right now.
Seemingly without too much change in the actual.
Yeah.
Way
So
it's
like what I
deployed.
mean by that is without like a complete rewrite, without like rebuilding it.
Yeah.
Taking a monolith, taking software that was built traditionally. I almost said monolithic, which it is not, but it is more traditionally designed in concept. Taking that and decentralizing it is what that network is built for. And they're not the only one, but they're one of the more proven ones, right? So like they, the first thing they did was run a Minecraft server on it. And that's something that is built as a centralized server solution, And so they were able to run a big Minecraft server with a bunch of, players, multiplayer, real time on that network, and it worked. And if they can do that, then that's a demonstration of like, hey, you can take traditionally built software and run it here.
So really, on that question, we should just the main thing to solve or to answer is what's the cost? What does it cost to host a system like Den on that? And that would be the real answer, because then we could go back to IAM for IAM and say, okay, here's how much it's going to cost. Here's how much our budget is. Who else can we bring in to help pay for it, right?
And we might, there is, so Den is not monolithic. That's why I didn't want to say that earlier. So, and because of that, there are components of Den that could be moved over first that are less impactful.
Very true.
Right? So you could just move the front end over.
Yeah, that would actually be brilliant.
At first, because then you wouldn't be so concerned about some of the security, like, and stuff like that.
Yep.
So maybe if we cost analyze that out, and we could fund it for like a year in advance. Right. It might be worth saying like, okay, cool. We've got a year's worth of, Flux to pay the fees for running this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then maybe we do step one, like, okay, let's just move the front end over. Let's just move the website, that host over, and see how it goes. That way, if it's like if it doesn't work as smoothly as we need it to, we can pull it back.
Right. So, okay, I would say if you have any way to they might have a calculator on their side. I can't remember if Flux did. One of them.
They do, yeah.
And it was it sounded like it was
cheap,
way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So
yeah, it's pretty cheap.
So sure. I will also ask lead dev about that, because hey, it's something interesting, and like you say, if we moved just the front end over and then kind of got a feel for it and then move.
Yeah, that's what I would totally ask is
services.
Ask them like, hey, if we were wanting to put our toe in the water as a temperature check, what component of Den could we move on to this experimental infrastructure to make sure it's going to work like we think it's going to work.
Right. And then also we need to ask the former producer of this show if we need to figure out if we did vote on that lot thing. So I will post that in the comms chat, and then we'll just figure out, if we already have it approved, and I'll ask Andrew, because the formula itself won't be that hard to put in place. It's just a matter
the
of
lot thing.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be that bad at all.
That's exciting. I would like to do that.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing was that the implementation, because of the way it went, that when someone spends energy, it immediately is split up among the
Yeah.
content, the parent content, like if it's a reply, then it's the post, and then the layer holders lot. So it's immediately split up. That said,
I don't think
know,
that bars us from doing
No.
post-processing.
No, exactly, because we could look through and say, okay, we're going to pull the energy from.
It's almost like a
got from
secondary
that.
mining operation before
Right.
it actually gets paid out.
Right, where it
Where
would
you
be
have
split
all
up.
you have all make all of your balances temporary balances until you go to this new thing,
Yeah.
and then weight it against activity and then pay out.
Yep. Because then it's like, okay, now I have each layer. It would be like a sub process where you go through each layer and grab all the energy in this period from that layer's payouts, and then
You know, the cool thing about doing it that way is
Recalculate
at
it.
first I was thinking it was messy because it's not like doing it as part of the whole thing, you know,
Right.
like from the beginning.
Yep.
But actually, if you do it this way, where you leave the existing mining algorithm in place, but you just make the end result of that one step away from payout, and in between that and payout, you put this new rule of
Yes.
just for lot ownership. Then, for whatever reason, if we decide we don't like it, it's so easy to back out of.
Yeah, totally. That's a really good point. The
You know
other
what I
side
mean?
of it, the other side of it is in the middle layer, instead of running a separate process through, when it is splitting it up, it could say, oh, hey, Joe has 0 engagement points, so ignore him for this. Dave has 10 engagement points, and Jimmy over here has 186, and so proportionally, by your engagement, maybe times your lot, is what energy would show up in you, and then the rest would be the same. I'd have to ask him. I don't know which way would be cleaner in the code without looking at
Yeah,
it.
almost like shoving a module in there that
Yep.
that takes the output of the current mining algorithm,
Yep.
and makes it an input of this new,
Yeah.
like this addition, this change.
Yeah. So I think it's doable.
And it would only affect the portion of payout that was with, like,
So
what is it, like 10% or something that the lot holders get, 5%, whatever it is,
5 or 10,
whatever it is. Yeah. It would only affect that portion of it.
yeah. So 2 things. So this call pretty good for that, even though it was the other, and I'm still open to talking about the energy question as well, but it would be good to get this in first, see if engagement improves, and then figure out what to do on the other side. And then
because as IM said, it could be a too few denizens problem more than it is a no cap problem.
Yep.
But if we did that, I would be interested in talking about how to tie it to some sort of rep.
Yep, exactly. And so there's that. And then the second is, using, if we were to say, yeah, let's just go with Flux, I could talk to devs about what it would take as well to deploy just one component, because we were already saying, okay, web is pretty reasonable to consider, but data is another question, right? So I would even think front end and web services would be pretty straightforward. The data is the part that we might want to know more about. Is it going to cost a lot when
before we do that,
growing and growing, let alone migrating the data or anything else? I don't know.
They definitely want more people to do that. I mean, they for a while were just giving away infrastructure. Now they're charging for it, but they still have more infrastructure than they know what to do with on this network, to the point where they've implemented folding at home, protein folding, as something that people can run on their Flux nodes.
So I don't know if there's any way to get in touch with them and see if they would,
Yeah, I've got a line open. It's an old line of communication, but I still have some contacts. I'm sure that they'll, nobody hates me over there. We just stopped talking, so I'll have to hit them up and see what's up. But also, anybody who decides that they want to do it can just sign up on their website, and all they do, from what I understand, is enable, you give them your GitHub repository, and they look to see what it is that's going to be running on their network, and then they're like, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Hmm.
So that's the gating part I was talking about.
Yeah, and I think that'd be all right, right?
But that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
there would be no issue there at all. I'm just saying, like, that's the one thing that, in a purist sense, doesn't align with decentralization.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a political fight. It's not a technical thing.
Yep. So, some good points covered.
Cool.
Is that everything we have? Is that all we need?
I think so. Yep.
Okay, sweet. And this was, whoops, that's not even the right one. Sorry. DENDAO. Okay. So, all right, that's it. Do we just want to cut out?
Is our meme coin going to be called Musk Monkey or what? Is that what that?
No, that's a good question, right? That's a good
comes
question.
with its own fragrance. We can just play off the whole, because everyone does that, right? They just make whatever Elon stuff into a meme coin.
I guess that's the way
Didn't Elon sell a Musk like fragrance? I think he sold a
I
perfume.
don't know.
It was like
Really?
smelled like burnt hair or something.
Musk. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
okay.
funny.
Cool.
All right.
This was productive actually. Those are doable things. So that's cool.
All right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with this same show. In the meantime, we'll see you next week on Super Happy and World Blockchain Roundtable. Maybe sometime you can come back in. Let us know about Coffee with Den too. And yeah.
Once I get into the next chapter of my routine, I'll know what my schedule is going to be like.
Right on. So stick around. I'll talk to you right after and get out of here.
Okay.
All right. See you.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible. You see it now?